Thank you everyone for coming to the Dougherty County School System regular board meeting. This is our board briefing. Mr. Superintendent, do we have any presentations or public comments?
Yes, ma'am. We have a few today. First, we have special employee recognition, followed by a presentation of policy updates by Dr. Finley, and then a presentation by the Reverend Orson Burton regarding the United Ways Summer Collaborative. So in that order. So we'll start with our employee recognition. And this is several years ago, the Dougherty County School System was one of the original school systems in a pilot for a new teacher performance evaluation system. And Georgia leads. And the highest designation a teacher can get in that performance evaluation system is the accomplished teacher designation. And so I think this is the third year of that, and other cohorts of John, I think it's statewide now. Of course, Dougherty County School System enjoys being trailblazers in that regard. And so last year, we have our first teacher to earn the accomplished teacher designation by the Georgia Department of Education. And that teacher is Miss Yate Anderson, a teacher at Sherwood Acres Elementary School. And she's present today with her principal and assistant principal and instructional coach. So Miss Anderson, come on up and get your certificate and your Madam Chair. And her corner distinction, Lieutenant's corner. And so thank you very much, man. Congratulations. All right.
Any other board members would like to take
Please come down.
Does any other board members would like to come down?
I think she said you was the weight room.
One, two, three. Got it. Thank you.
Oh, I'm good at it.
So Ms. Dyer, let her know where her foundation started out with Sylvester Rose.
That's right.
Right, next we have Dr. Finley with our policy updates. I did the second read on several policies. So whenever you're ready, Dr. Finley, please feel free.
All right, good evening, esteemed Board of Education, Superintendent Mr. Dyer, district, school leadership, families, students, community stakeholders. It's a pleasure to come before you today to give you an update on our policy revision process. I provided to you a folder today. It has sections, well, you'll see a table of contents. It has has it numbered within there, as I typically do. So if you drop your documents, you can find what you're looking for. Number one is a chart that has GSBA's and DCSS's recommendations for sections we're gonna talk about today is Section J. Section J, if you remember, we brought before you before, but we pulled a few policies out. We continue to work on some. So we have those particular policies within this document. In addition to that, I brought policy GAAA. You'll see that. That's the number 2 in your document. That's been before you before. That's for personnel. That's in section personnel. And I brought this back before you because we included the positions that you have to have within this policy that speaks to a process for discrimination for Title VI, 504 ADA. So you will see at the bottom of that page, number 2, you'll see the positions that are responsible when reached out to if there is a complaint regarding discrimination. So that's why policy GAAA is back before you today. Policy section number 3, section K, which is general public relations, and section L, which is inter-organizational relations. Those policies, those are our last 2 sections of the policy manual. So those are before you today as well for consideration. Section J, I already mentioned, those are the policies that we pulled that we're bringing back to you today to discuss. Also on your table of contents, you see the color codes it's the same as you've been using throughout this particular process. Today, I'm gonna connect back to GAAA, just to reiterate again, that's a personnel policy. That's the number 2 in your folder. Brought that back before you. That is the process that we have identified, you have identified as the board, that you have identified as the board that we walk through if there is a complaint regarding discrimination. That's 504 ADA, Title IX, Title VII, Title VI. And for Title VI, our deputies, that's the office that we delivered to. Title VII, human resources officer. Title IX, students, deputy superintendent. For employees, human resources officer. And for athletics, our district director of athletics, and you can see 504, that's our director of exceptional student programs. And we have ADA, our students, director of exceptional student programs, and employees, our chief human resource officer. When we get to section J, you're gonna see a JAAA as well. That's for the students. It's the same as it relates to, we provided the different positions to be reached out to if there is a claim of discrimination. So that's that for policy GAA, which is equal opportunity employment. For section J, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Section J, that's number 4 in your document. These are the pull policies, the policies that we pulled. We went over J the last time. And I'm going to J because I just went over GAAA, so I'm going directly to JAAA and just go down the line. So again, JAAA is equal education opportunities. It's the same as we added the positions for people to reach out to if there is a complaint, and we follow the process that's outlined in JAAA. So that's equal educational opportunities. A number of the policies that we pulled, we did an update of language. So some of the language hadn't been updated in a while. So you'll see within this section, there's a lot of rewrites to strengthen the language, to modernize the language for the different policies. One that I will mention, we have JBCCA, which is the unsafe school choice option. So all we did there, we just updated the language. That's law that we have to follow. If a school is considered a dangerous school, but it's persistently dangerous, we added the definitions at the top, and this is the language that GSBA recommended that we accepted with some slight adjustments. Adjustments was they didn't have a definition section. We added definitions because you can't, in my opinion, access the policy if you don't have the definitions. So, moving forward, interviews and searches of students. We, again, just updated, modernized the language. That's policy JCAB. We want to ensure that our language was up to date as it relates to what happens when, and what should happen when students are being interviewed in searches of students. And within that policy, it also speaks to, school administrator searches versus our legal law enforcement searches as it relates to, it provides the difference, which is extremely important. We updated our child abuse or neglect policy. That's policy JGI. We just wanted to make sure it's in alignment with the procedures that we have within the district, who to contact, and ensuring that all of our staff and volunteers or teachers, administrators know that they're mandated reporters. We do have a process that we follow within our district, but just be very clear that we all are mandated reporters, and if something happens, they have the responsibility to ensure that it has been reported. But we do have a process within our district that we wanted to make sure that was clear. So we wanted to make sure that language was updated as well. Student dropouts, that's the name of the policy, policy JQH. This policy was updated. We have a policy that speaks to what should happen if a student communicated that they were considering dropout. And it's not just, hey, we're gonna drop out and we do nothing. So there's steps that has to be followed at the school level to make every effort to inform the student and the parent of, the importance of education and also our curriculum options that we may have to meet students where they are. So it's not just students say we're going to drop out and we don't do anything. We're trying to encourage, inspire, and also make our students and families aware of the options that we have within our district for graduation. We also updated our video surveillance policy, which is policy JG1. So this policy originally, it was connected to transportation because, that used to be where the videos were. For the most part, it was on the bus. Well, times have changed. So we have cameras for safety reasons within our buildings. We have cameras also for instructional purposes in our buildings, and also for, of course, safety and security. So we have cameras in buses, we have cameras in our schools. So we just wanted to make sure that our policy was broad enough to encompass all of that, because initially, again, it was more structured and around the bus, in the video on the bus. So that was updated as well. We also updated our JGFB policy, which is supervision of students. That policy was, it was connected to the ensuring that that the heat temperatures weren't above the heat index. We weren't out of compliance with the heat index as it relates to our band students and our athletics. That's how the policy was written previously. So we wanted to ensure that we broadened that policy to speak to, the expectations around, monitoring students within our districts, whether it's during the school day, at a school activity, on a field trip. We wanted to make sure that we broadened that policy because the initial policy was slim in scope. It was directly connected to our band and our athletes. Move on to section K. I won't bore you too much longer. I just want to give you a quick update. So with our K policies, which is in the section General Public Relations, we updated, and again, just updating language, our visitors to schools, ensuring that our language spoke to the expectations of visitors coming within our schools. We welcome, stakeholders in our school, but, we got to ensure that, order and it's not a disruption of the instructional day or instructional program. So we updated that particular policy. Advertising in the schools, we went away from being so far in the weeds with that, and we're going to be more general with the policy, and that's for we don't want we're not advertising for political gain or religion and things of that nature in certain ways to come within the school. So this particular policy, we will have a general, which is more connected to policy, it's broad, and then we're going to work on regulations to speak to what that looks like and how we're going to implement that. Political figures and things of that nature coming to influence our students if they came within the schools, religious pieces, aspects as well, trying to influence students, to believe this or believe that. That's what this policy speaks to. So. Parent organizations, this policy is connected to student support organizations, PTOs, booster clubs, and we wanted to ensure that we modernize this particular language so that it was clear as it relates to fiscally what that looks like between district and a support organization. For example, if it's a booster, they're separate organization, but there is a collaboration as it relates to, supporting school. Outlining the fiscal pieces, outlining, what may be required. They're gonna, ask to be recognized and use the brand of the school district for, their organization and their booster or support organization. So that's an important one that we did a lot of work on. And the last one that I will lift is the parent involvement in education. And this particular policy, we accepted Georgia School Board Association's language with this, and it's connected to exactly what the title is. It's working to involve our parents within schools more. That's what the policy is connected to, and we accepted GSBA's language related to that. Are there any questions at this point? I do want to take a moment, if you don't mind, to really thank the team members that worked collaboratively within this process. I'm so proud of the team, and I'm so thankful and grateful to have people to work beside who didn't just push it to the side, because policy sometimes is not the most interesting things that some would like to do. So I just want to publicly say thank you to the team, and they all know who they are. I'm not going to name names because so many of them, because it's all the way down to the school level. And to hear comments like I enjoyed the policy process. I didn't know that, you know. Me and Mr. Davis, I'm gonna sit down. We're on a phone call with a administrator, and that administrator said to Mr. Davis, "I checked the policy." You know, so just to hear they're connecting to policy, it speaks to the collaborative effort, and just thanks for allowing me to have the opportunity to be a part of it. With that being said, if there are not any more questions.
Any board members have any questions? If so, after you reading this and doing your homework tonight, you need to call Dr. Finley tomorrow, let me know.
And Madam Chair, I want to thank Dr. Finley for his leadership in this regard. It's tedious work, and when he first started, he said, what do I need to do? I said, read the policy manual about 3 times. Because you're going to have to be intimately familiar with what's in that policy manual as we look at revising it. And he did just that. He can probably quote most of them. and he didn't make any friends in this process. He think I set him up. He was responsible for the strategic plan, which was a massive undertaking, and policy manual revision, which is another massive undertaking. So now he can start making friends since both those processes are complete. He can start making friends, and they can stop talking about him. Dr. Chandler and Miss Allison. I'm talking about y'all, but really, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Great work, and really was needed to modernize our policies as they've been in place. Some of them for a few decades, and had really not were not appropriate for what we were doing now. So thank you very much for that process and your leadership in that regard. And with that being said, Madam Chair, the next person up is the Reverend Orson Burton II, a junior, and he's going to present regarding the United Ways Summer Collaborative.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you all so much for having me. My name is Orson Burton Jr., and I am excited. I'm excited to present to you all today the Albany Summer Collective for 2026. This has been a remarkable summer. In March of this year, I had the privilege of coming to this board and making a presentation around the Albany Summer Collective and the work we were endeavoring to do for the summer program students and with those summer programs this summer. And today I've come back to give you an update as to what it is that we've been able to accomplish this summer together. One of the things, is this working? Okay, perfect. This summer, the Albany Summer Collective, we kept our promise. You'll see throughout this presentation a lot of photos, and all of them are our children, thanks to the young man that's recording right there. I wanted to start off with the thing that I think is one of the most impressive pieces, and that is the numbers. By the numbers, this summer we reached 2,140 students, 2,140 students. That's 1,281 unique families with 18 funded programs. That total submissions is 2,096 in something that we call the global enrollment form. Some of them were duplications, but we wanted to make certain that we were able to highlight that. So 19 programs were selected, 18 programs were funded, and 18 programs delivered. These are our children at our airport, Southwest Georgia Airport there. Who we serve. The Albany Summer Collective actually reached, through our global enrollment form, 1,860 enrolled students. There were 280 students that were not able to complete the global enrollment form because they didn't have the necessary access to the resources to complete it. They didn't have a fixed address. They didn't have a record of ward or district that they stayed in, but we were still able to serve them, and that population were students experiencing homelessness this summer. 280 students experiencing homelessness this summer were able to get access to academic enrichment and most importantly, food resources and wraparound services based on the work of the Albany Summer Collective. 280 of those students were experiencing homelessness. We had 365 students who 365 families, excuse me, with at least 2 or more children. More pictures. So you'll see swimming activities, you'll see face painting, you'll see demonstrations in class. I'm really excited about this next piece to make certain that you all knew that we had 18 funded programs, but we had 43 organizations apply in 10 days. Because we were funded in April, close to May of this year, we could only keep the application open for 10 days. In those 10 days, 43 organizations applied, 18 ultimately were funded, and they represent 24 organizations because we knew that there was power in being in a collaborative approach, and some of those applicants did a co-application, so 2 organizations applied for 1 grant. So 24 organizations were funded, 6 Albany wards or districts, so that's the geographical land border of our city. Every area of our city and county was covered through this initiative. And we had over 300 jobs created this summer through those programs. You'll see a tight calendar there. So April 28th, the city commission approved to award us $350,000 for the Albany Summer Collective. That's May 4th through the 13th. Those are open applications. May 14th, an advisory committee made the selections for those summer programs. May 26th, we did a summer program orientation with signed MOUs, and then funding began May 29th. So we did a whole lot in about 30 days in preparation to the summer. Excuse me. More pictures of our children. Certainly a highlight for us. So this season, these numbers, I should have said it at the beginning, are only representative of 7 weeks of programming. We know that we had 9 total weeks of programming this summer, so we will be updating those numbers, and they should be just a tad bit better than those that you see here. But because there was a sense of urgency to make certain that we presented to you all and make certain that you all knew what was happening this summer with your children, we made it a priority to get through this and have it presentable for you all. 55,405 meals and snacks were served this summer. 878 academic hours were given, 19,430 minutes of physical activity, 87 director check-ins. This is probably one of the most proud stats that I have here. 878 academic enrichment hours for students in those summer programs were able to be offered. You see that next big number, 19,430, the minutes of physical activity. If you divide that by 60, that's around 324 hours of physical activity. So our academic enrichment portion more than doubled the physical activities that were happening this summer for those youth. What it looked like, what the network delivered through those 18 funded programs, 7 hours of academic instruction per week for those summer programs. And those academic enrichment areas included math, literacy, and social emotional learning. You'll see a breakdown of the meals served per week. You also see the highlights of more meals served in week 2, but that indicates something for us that we will bring back to you all when we complete our impact study of this summer program. More pictures. Those are our future scientists and doctors, lawyers, engineers. One of the things that we prioritized this summer was social emotional learning, and nearly 500 children, students in grades K through 3rd, kindergarten through 3rd grade, actually completed a social emotional baseline. And I want to make certain that you guys kind of see that the questions were simple for them. I can ask for help here. This program helps me learn. I feel safe here, feel welcome. Grown-ups are kind to me here. Helps grown-ups help me try new things. Grown-ups help me feel good about myself. I feel like I belong. I can share my ideas and grown-ups listen to me. I know some of the educators are asking, like, how in the world did you get kindergartners to do this? Well, we actually did a Likert scale that was demonstrated not with numbers, but with thumbs ups. So we had 2 thumbs up for excellent, 1 thumb up for average, medium is kind of unacceptable, 1 thumb down, 2 thumbs down. So that's based on the feedback that nearly 500 students, kindergarten through 3rd grade, were able to offer. I'm moving really quickly, so I'll skip over that beautiful picture. We also community engagement activities. We had something called ward-based events on Saturdays and Tuesdays just throughout the summer, and we had a count of over 1,800 community residents, stakeholders that came out to these events. 6 of 6 wards were represented, and it was around $12.58 per participant. We also provided summer scholarships on behalf of families to summer programs so that their children could be a part of summer programming. I know I'm running out of time, so I'm going to speed up just a little bit. We had to start it off with the Swim for Life with Coordinator Michael Fowler. At that event, we had over 945 individuals come, and if you remember, it rained that day. By the end of that day, we had enrolled 610 students from that day, and it rained half of the day. That's really remarkable. And then you'll see the wards represented, the dates represented, and the activities that we were able to do with those other 6 organization or ward-based events through the community. Sure, some more pictures. Yeah, it is. Okay. 178, that's a huge number. It's 178 times our executive directors of these summer programs were able to identify when an adult caught it. They caught an activity or a situation, and they de-escalated it from becoming even more intense 178 times. I think I only have about 50 seconds, so I'm going to move really quickly through the remainder of this. Summer cost, we talked about the cost per youth, $350 with what we proposed. Because we served 2.5 more times more children, we actually served at $136 per student. What the economic impact, right? So we often talk about economic impact, 14,880 child weeks of care. That's a market value of child care of $651,000. The caregiver earning capacity, $0.35 million. That's almost 10 times the investment on per dollar. You'll see how that estimate is built in that bottom row of those calculations. 1,281 families enrolled, 8 weeks of operation, 61.1% of Georgia labor force participation, times 25 hours of care. Usually they are giving 40 hours of care, but we were very conservative with these numbers, and times a $15 conservative hourly wage. That's $2.35 million on return on investment. What we promised versus what we delivered. We promised we would serve 1,000 students. We served 2,140 students. We promised we would give scholarships to 120 students. We gave scholarships to over 627 students. We said that we would have 50% low-income participation. 83.7% are on public benefits. 3 hours of academic hours per week, 7 hours of academic enrichment per week. 5% completion. 17 out of 18 completed the program. Measurable math improvement based on 7 weeks. It was 100% retained or gained. All 6 wards represented, and those numbers kind of keep going. And here it is, final slide. We want to be able to make certain that we're able to serve even more students next summer, and we cannot do that without you. In fact, none of this was possible simply by me, but we have an amazing staff. Mrs. Santos, our program coordinator, Dr. Phillips is also not in the building, but we had a huge team collect data, pool resources together, and serve our children collectively this summer. The Albany Summer Collective, we did a whole lot, and we're interested in moving forward together. We would love to come back in September with the full impact report and give you the data that we were able to collect with hopes that we will be able to partner together in every way next summer, 2027, both relationally, collaboratively, and I heard Dr. Finley talk about the new proposal with booster. Hopefully we're one of those boosters that you all are able to work with, but we certainly thank you for the time and your attention with the Albany Summer Collective. Thank you for your support and all that you've done to support us.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Any questions?
I do have one question, Reverend Burton. normally, in previous years of my years of teaching,
Yes.
especially summer school,
Yes,
after July 4,
Yes.
attendance would drop off.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have that issue this time? And if not, what impact did your program have on maintaining the attendance level?
Yeah, so our attendance level for the year for all 18 programs is right at 88% throughout the year. So those who started, but what we identified in July was we actually had a surge of students because summer school stopped in June.
Okay.
So more students were signing up in July, and we had to make room for them and find food for them and all the other things to make sure that we were able to serve them. So our experience was in July, there was a second surge that really helped us out with our numbers of students served this summer.
Okay, great.
Sure.
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get a response or any kind of type of response from the parents after the program was over with?
So we didn't get parents' responses after the program. We did collect data throughout the program from parents through surveys and other measurements of data. That'll be a part of our impact report that we bring in September as well.
Thank you again,
Thank you all.
United Way and your team. Okay, board members, we will review the agenda items and we'll give you an opportunity to ask questions or make comments. We will have an executive session to discuss personnel and student
Property,
matter.
litigation.
I know.
Yeah.
Student matter and litigation. Board members, do you have any questions, comments about the agenda? Hear none. Agenda item 1, minutes of the mid-month board meetings held on July 23rd. Hear none. Item 2, consideration recommendation for employment of personnel. Hear none. Item 3, consideration recommendation for release of personnel.
You want to talk about the ABM transfer?
Yeah.
And Madam Chair, as we discussed in our meeting prep, you'll see about 68 employees transitioning from DCSS payroll to ABM. That process has gone smoothly. That's the initial phase. We do have some who are still pending transitions, waiting on background checks and other employment prerequisites for ABM. So that process is going smoothly, and we'll come back to you in August, end of August, once that process is almost all but complete regarding the transition and the incentives that we are providing for our employees regarding that.
Any other questions for Mr. Dyer for the transfers? Okay. Item 4, and I am going to break this down because I know there were questions that was asked. So item A, audio enhancement for Westover High School Health and Physical Education Complex. Okay. Item B, total campus protection ultra vape sensor of Dougherty and Westover High School Health and Physical Education Complex. Item C, security cameras at Westover High School Health and Physical Education Complex and the tower. And D, network equipment at Westover High School Health and Physical Education Complex.
Madam Chair, I do have a question. I see two of, maybe one that said Dougherty and Westover. What about, will Dougherty also receive the audio enhancement?
That was on A.
I think that the Dougherty, I think that was already submitted to the board. That was submitted previously.
The audio enhancement.
Right.
Okay. Item 5, any other questions, Ms. Hand, Dr. Hand? You got your answer.
Yeah, I know there was, Madam Chair, there was a question about, we already submitted items for audio enhancement and the cameras and the vape sensors at a previous board meeting. The audio enhancement and the security cameras, those were replacing, particularly the security cameras, those were replacing existing cameras in our buildings. These are specifically for the new construction at the Health and PE complexes and the academic tower at Westover. So that's why you see additional audio enhancement and additional security cameras being proposed. That's for the new construction. Right.
I just want to make sure everyone else heard what your question. Item 5, consideration and recommendation to approve the DCSS Employee Perks Program.
And Madam Chair, let me speak to that.
Please.
We had a question about that at the last meeting. We have yet to get the information that the young lady who was spearheading that program with the Artesian Alliance is out. And so we have not gotten that information. And I don't know if she has it. And so we certainly will understand if the board wants to table that. I would ask that we consider approving the Albany State portion of it. I don't have the exact numbers, but I know that was a well-received program, and they have submitted a proposal for renewing that. And their first game is swiftly approaching. We want to advertise that if we can. If the board wants to wait on that and do all of that at the same time, I certainly understand. But if you would approve the Albany State portion and the DCSS athletics portion, I would certainly appreciate that, so we can go ahead and get those ads going. And we can certainly wait on the Artesian Alliance. Again, that young lady has been out, and I don't even know if they have that participation information.
I don't think so. And before we I know we don't vote until regular meeting. Are you okay for us to just do the recommendation for DCSS and Albany State games? Okay. So that's what the motion will be. Item 6, consideration recommendation of review and adopt board operation procedures. That's the board norms and responsibility, board members' code of ethics, and the board member conflict of interest.
And just for the record, Madam Chair, there are no changes to any of those, but for board recognition and for best practice, those will be reviewed and adopted by the board every year. And sometimes we make changes. This year, there have been no changes recommended for either of those 3.
Okay. Okay, consideration of recommendation to adopt the policies. A, GAA, equal opportunity employment, and Section J. Any questions? Okay, C, in policy, Section K, and D, Section L. Hearing none, Ms. Dyer, anyone has any committee reports? Okay, and Mr. Dyer?
I have a quick question on, ma'am, thank you. On the perks program, do you know the financial, impact?
Yes, ma'am. The Albany State, I think we did not include that on this one. We had it in the last recommendation when we discussed it at the last meeting. I'm sorry. Albany State's program is $150,000 per year. That's for access to all regular season football and basketball programs. And the DCSS is based on the number of employees, and that typically runs about $80,000 that we pay as part of our supplemental benefits program. Right.
Well, homecoming's not included on that.
Yeah, yes, it is included. There was some misinformation last year.
Yeah, 'cause
There was some misinformation last year
Well, we
regarding
appreciate
homecoming. Every home game is included. Every regular season home game for Albany State athletics is included, including homecoming.
Thank you,
I
sir.
found out afterwards that there was some misinformation that came from us, not Albany State.
Yeah, and that's why I
we addressed that.
Thank you, sir. I got my homecoming ticket. Okay.
Refund on my season pass.
Okay, Mr. Dyer. No committee reports, board items discussion, which we've done, policy K and policy L. Are you ready for your superintendent report?
Dr. Finley, who has the clicker? All right. All right, thanks.
Oh, just a second, Mr. Dyer, he said.
All righty. Okay. Superintendent's report, August 10th, 2026. The vision of the Dougherty County School System is that we're a destination school system that, in collaboration with families and community partners, provides quality educational and social development experiences that empowers graduates to be successful and impactful contributors to society. Our mission is to meet the academic and non-academic needs of our students with rigorous and relevant educational experiences that equip them to succeed in life. Okay, okay, all right. And our strategic plan, of course, Future Ready strategic plan has 3 priorities: early literacy, academic rigor and relevance, student wellness, investment in human capital, family and community engagement. Here you see our core beliefs. We've got a safe and supportive environment, a student potential, shared partnerships, effectiveness, evidence-driven, high expectations, life beyond graduation, relevance, collective responsibility, integrity, and stewardship. Our topics of discussion for today, plus our policy revisions. I'm going to go through everything Dr. Finley talked about and some more. Just joking. He already did that part. I know you're disappointed, but he did a great job, so I don't need to go back over anything on that. Our strategic plan update, academic rigor and relevance with a high-level overview of our GMAS results from 2026. And then priority 5, our VILA update, celebrations and announcements, and then executive session to discuss personnel, student matters, litigation, and property if the board sees fit. Our strategic priority number 2, 2026 GMAS performance highlights. We had a historical math achievement, grades 3 through 7, demonstrated growth in percentage of students scoring proficient level or above. Notably, grades 4, 5, 6, and 7 achieve all-time high proficiency in mathematics. Robert Cross sustained excellence there. Since 2019, they've maintained a 100% proficiency rate on the high school college concepts and connections in the course assessment. As you know, some middle school students get the opportunity to take high school courses while in middle school. They have to take the end of course test. And in the algebra course, Robert Cross students scored 100% proficient or distinguished for the 7th consecutive, well, not counting 2020, the 6th consecutive year. Strong science trends, 5th grade science performance remains steady year over year, while high school biology scored growth and student proficiency. And then it had several of the Dougherty County School System schools outperform the state and regional averages in terms of proficient and above and developing and above. And here is a list, and that's kind of small. We'll share this, but these are the list of students, list of schools rather, who outscored or outperformed the RESA, highlighted in yellow, and the state. I'm sorry. The yellow represents outperform, developing and above. The green represents schools that outperform the state and RESA in proficient and above. You'll see a list of schools there in 3rd grade math, 4th grade math, all the way through 8th grade. And then you have social studies and science. And these are your spring EOCs. Those were the EOGs. These are the EOCs. And we had several DCS schools that outpaced the state. So when they outpaced, they may or may not have outperformed them in terms of the raw scores like the previous chart, but their pace of improvement, their pace of growth outpaced the state's average and the research average growth. And why is that important? Because, historically, Dougherty County School System schools have lagged behind the state average in terms of proficiency. And so we use this, you've seen this from me several times, he who starts behind in the great race of life must forever remain behind or run faster than the man in front, by Dr. Benjamin E. Mays. So since we've historically finished below the state average, we look at our pace where we're closing the gap. So in other words, are we running faster than the state in terms of closing that gap? And so you'll see here, this next set of slides that shows you that we had several schools who outpaced the state or the RESA in content areas across the board, in math, in science and social studies, and our EOGs
You're gonna send that out to
Yes,
us
ma'am.
so we can read it?
Yes, ma'am. All right. The next strategic priority 5, family community engagement. The Villa program, of course, we're going to relaunch the Villa program this next month with the kickoff, because the Villa program aims to empower parents and volunteers in the community with skills for effective school system engagement. There are 6 courses, which we'll talk about in the next slide. Course 1 being Lay of the Land, Course 2, and that'll kick off on September 3rd. Course 2, overview of local school district. That'll be on September 17th. Course 3, Education Operations, will be held on October 1st. Course 4, Financial Operations, will be held on October 7th. Course 5 will be the field trip or the site visits to at least 2 to 3 schools. That'll be during the school day. And then Course 6 will be our coordinating ceremony and graduation. That'll be held on November 5th. All of these sessions, with the exception of the Course 5, will be held at, I think, 6:30 in this room. And we have 7 people who expressed interest in the previous cohort that were not selected because we hit our maximum, 7 out of 11 expressed continued interest, so they were allowed to participate. And then we have schools identifying at least one person from their local school governance team or PTO, or so that we make sure every school has an opportunity to be represented. And so they'll be presenting those to us. I think the deadline is this Friday, and then we'll make contact with those individuals to start scheduling the confirmation of their participation. So we're looking forward to sharing, engaging with our community stakeholders and partners regarding the school system operations, and helping them become more informed as partners with us, holding us accountable, and also advocating for public education in general and the Dougherty County school system in particular. Celebration and announcements. I want to thank the chair, because we'll start this out. This is a video of our first day of school, just a few highlights. And that started about 4:45, if I'm not mistaken, around 5 o'clock in the morning. See that face there? You'll see we had several members of the community, several organizations participating. I think some of the AKAs participating with Ms. Heath playing a part. You'll see Dougherty County Police officers there. Now, school system people, Dougherty County Police. You'll see several where you see Auburn State University student athletes, the football team in particular. We met with Coach there. We met with the coach there. He wanted to participate, and so this is the first activity he was participating in. We also saw some of our police officers, our SROs rather, providing traffic support, particularly in those areas that have traditionally had a lot of challenges with traffic the first few weeks of school. Trying to be proactive in that regard. Smiling faces. Check in right before fall break, make sure they're still smiling.
Welcome back.
right, that's that video. And I was, earlier when I was talking about Villa, I wanted to thank the chair because she advocated for Villa for about a year and a half. We were able to put the program together, and it was a very successful program. And we're looking forward to continue that program this year with 2 cohorts, one in the fall, and then another in the spring. So thank you for that, Madam Chair. And again, that was our video for back to school. Sunday, most of us participated in the commencement in May. All of our students don't make it across the stage in May. They have several who had to go to summer school, and they did just that. They persevered, overcame obstacles. Many overcame obstacles, more obstacles than most, and they did not let those obstacles stop them. So the message they received from several different speakers was centered around perseverance, determination, and overcoming obstacles and not giving up when the road gets tough. Also that they're supported, and the same determination and support that they received to get to this point will carry them forward in their careers, in their lives. So it was very touching. It was a very lively ceremony, and parents are very proud, and we are very proud of them as well. We have 2 schools, Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School and Albany Middle School, named National Beta Schools of Distinction. They have junior beta clubs, and that National Beta School of Distinction comes with increasing club membership. So, the Beta Club is an academic club. You have to meet certain academic requirements. And if you're a National Beta School of Distinction, it means you've had an increase of 10% in club membership from the previous year. So in order to have an increase in membership, you have to have students who are performing to meet those criteria. So both M.L. King Jr. Elementary and Albany Middle are recognized as National Beta Schools of Distinction for the 2025-2026 school year. So congratulations to them. Westover Comprehensive High School, also known as the University of Westover, as Coach Sherman proudly proclaims it, was ranked #1 in the United States for African American blood donations during the 2025-26 school year of all high schools in the country, collecting 149 total units of blood, including 136 from African American donors. And that is significant because sickle cell is a significant disease affecting primarily African Americans, and the blood donations really are needed, particularly for those individuals who suffer with sickle cell. So congratulations to Westover and their HOSA, Health Occupations Student Association. They really did a great job with that, and we're looking forward to a repeat this year. We already had a recognition of Miss Yate Anderson, but I wanted to put it in the record. So again, she is the first DCSS teacher to earn the Accomplished Teacher designation, which is the highest designation provided with the Georgia Leads Teacher Evaluation System. She will be recognized formally on September 23rd in Athens, Georgia. We were not going to let them recognize her before we recognize her. She's our teacher, and we're proud of her. We want her to know it, so we recognize her tonight. So congratulations again to Miss Yate Anderson for her Accomplished Teacher designation. And the DCSS Trailblazers, we talked about the award we received from the Adaptive Sports Association last year, $50,000 grant that we received from our district athletics department to start an adaptive sports program, the first adaptive sports program for a school system in South Georgia. And we're going to start this year with the fall sport being wheelchair handball, then the winter sports, wheelchair basketball, and the spring sport is wheelchair football. And Ms. Cheryl Cheeks is our coordinator for that. And she and Coach Ali have worked tirelessly to put this program together, come up with a mascot, and the graphics that you see work through our Department of Community Relations to do that. And we're in the process of, we've already hired the coaches, and we're in the process of doing another recruitment for students. And it's been well received so far. We look forward to kicking off our adaptive sports program so that every student has an opportunity to participate in not only academics, but those extracurricular activities that are also very important when we talk about the entire school experience. And so we're looking forward to provide those opportunities to our students. And any questions, Madam Chair, my board members, regarding anything I presented?
Any questions to the superintendent, Dr. Hand?
Mr. Dyer, I would just like to make a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Gaines and I, Ms. Heath and I, I'm so used to calling her Gaines. You know, she called me early in the morning. She said, "Doc, are you going to visit the schools?" I was looking outside. I said, "It's pouring down rain out there." But I did. I was so impressed, although I got soaking wet, which was okay. But I was so impressed with the schools, the elementary, because I just toured the elementary schools. But the students and the faculty and staff, even the cafeteria workers, they were just bubbly. Everybody was in a, just ready to go.
Yes, ma'am.
And I applaud really each and every last one of those administrators along with their staff. They did an outstanding job for the upcoming year. Outstanding.
Thank you. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Any other comments, Superintendent?
So we didn't get you on video, huh? We got Miss Heath on video. You were camera shy. I guess you were camera shy.
And real quick, I want to say thank you, Superintendent Dyer, for doing the video for the students, to welcome back video. We appreciate it. I got several calls to say the kids now get to know who the superintendent is.
Most of them know who I am. They see me enough. But I want to thank Miss Callie Evans. She said, "Mr. Dyer, you need to do a video to start the year out." I said, "I don't want to do a video." She said, "That's okay. You're going to do it anyway." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." But I told
Thank
her,
you,
she knows I'm camera shy. And I told her last year, I said, "Look, I said, I'm not good. I'm not really big on social media." I said, "I just try to get the work done. I don't do a lot of, I said, but I do know I need to do more of it. Because there's no other reason my board keeps mentioning it to me." And so I said, "So make sure I'm doing it. Make sure you keep me honest. And when I act like I don't want to do it, tell me I got to do it anyway." And that's what she did. She's a little bossy, but that's okay. I take it. I take it. So thank you, Ms. Evans, for that.
Mr. Dyer, do you expect any action coming out of executive session?
Yeah, I do have some personnel that
will be.
Yeah, I can pass those out. And if you want to take action now, we can, because there's no administrators on there. We can do that if you want to, or you can wait till after the
We
executive
can
session.
wait as long as they're action. Okay. So now I entertain a motion to go in executive session for all four: personnel, litigation, student matter, property.
Madam Chair, I move that we go into executive session at this time.
I second the motion.
It's been properly.
Hi, Ms. Hurley.
Okay, that's where the noise came
Right, Ms.
from.
Hurley.
All in favor? All opposed? We're now in executive session. Please take all of your belongings and we will call you back in when it's time for you to come back in. A question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair. Question, Mr. Dyer. I went over to, I think, Lamar Reese, first day of school, and the principal and we were talking, and I noticed that under that walkway, it's peeling. And to me, it's a hazard, I think. But I was inquiring, and she stated that when she inquired about it, somebody come over to paint it, at least paint it. They said they didn't have enough painters, or they only had one painter. That was one thing that I noticed, and she and I talked about. That's under the walkway. And the other thing was dealing with the grass. I noticed that all the weeds on the side of the wall, do we outsource grass cutters?
What we do, on the other hand, is during the growing season, we have two teams of lawn maintenance workers, and during the growing season, it's very difficult for them to keep up with
weeds, yeah.
with grass in general. So midway through the summer, we do engage short-term contracts with lawn care companies to provide lawn care services for select locations, so that we can keep the grass at acceptable levels. And so, yes, ma'am, we do that on a temporary basis. Outside of growing season, we use our team exclusively.
But now that's just not grass cutting.
That's lawn maintenance. That's everything.
Everything. Okay, because I told her she needed to do a requisition. Was I wrong about
Well,
that?
principals know that if they're, in fact, I spoke with the principal at Lamar Reese just this morning.
Okay.
And they understand that if the job is not done satisfactorily, they let us know, and we address the contractors.
Okay.
And if there's an issue with the walkway of the porta cochere, and she put a work order in and they didn't address it, then there are ways that she does follow up with our facilities director.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay.
And that don't work. They always have the right to, they can tell them with me. And they have done that before too.
That's my favorite thing to do.
And as a former principal, Dr. Turner's out there looking, because she'd be the first one to tell if they didn't do what they're supposed to do.
Good job. There's nothing else to come before board briefing. I would ask everyone to silence their phone, stand for a moment of silence. Please.
Call it first.
I forget. Call this meeting to order. Welcome the public to the regular board meeting. Please silence your phone, stand for a moment of silence and pledge allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Mr. Superintendent, do we have any public comments or presentation?
No, ma'am.
Okay, board members, do we have a motion to adopt the agenda with the addendum?
So moved.
It's been properly moved and second to adopt the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Madam Chair, does that include the amendment to item 5, that's the DCSS Perks Program?
Perks program
the
for
ASU Athletics and DCSS Athletics.
removing the
Artesian Alliance.
Artesian Alliance.
Yes, we understand that.
Okay, all opposed? Just to make sure that was clear. All opposed? Motion passes, the agenda is adopted. Do we have any changes to the minutes of the regular board meeting held on July 23rd, 2026? If not, I'll enter a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes, the minutes are approved. Now, approval of the items. That includes can we do in this consent agenda? That includes the addendum and the changes to the perks program. Do I have a motion?
So that would be two, Madam, just for clarity, that would
Two.
be 2 through 7D.
Can I get a second? Okay. It's been properly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Well, you know, I just, okay, all right. So we looked at the,
We did, all the way through D.
yeah, we did, okay, yeah, 7D, right, got it, all
Yeah,
right.
we did all the way through D.
Okay.
I enter a motion to, okay. Do we have any announcements or comments from the superintendent or board members?
None.
Do we have any other business to address?
Not at this time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. I will now enter a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So
Madam
moved.
Chair,
It's been properly moved in second 4 times. Who motion?
I did.
All in favor, yeah.
Gaines, and then you had everybody motion for second. It's been properly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We are now